Right, we're back for quiz 26, 36, quiz 36, and could be big mention out to some of the ones that got the scores last week. John and John and Dawn, did they get 24? I think Stevie said. Stephen did they got a 31. Billy and Margaret, Billy got a 29. Josie and Bill got a 27. What did Andre tell me? He didn't tell me what he got. Andre didn't tell me what he got. Jane and Davey, I think he got a 23, I think. I think they got a 23. They dropped a few this week. I think they'll do better in this week, the music rounds this week. We're going to start off in round one. A couple of tricky ones in this one, but hopefully we get at least five here. How long did the Arab-Israeli war last in 1967? How long did the Arab-Israeli war last for in 1967? Here's one of the wee tough ones. You either know or you don't. Billy might get it. He reads a book, so he might get it. What was the name of What was the name of Alice's cat in Alice in Wonderland? What was the name of Alice's cat in Alice in Wonderland? Number 3. Before becoming a comedian, what profession had Harry Hill trained in? Before becoming a comedian, what profession had Harry Hill trained in? Right, here's one. Everybody knows this, but they probably can't remember their name. What was the name of the British au pair that was convicted of involuntary manslaughter in 1997? It's 24 years ago, was it? Doesn't seem that long ago. What was the name of the British au pair convicted of involuntary manslaughter in 1997? It was on the news for weeks. Okay, number 5. Which company produced the first general purpose charge card? No, like a, what do you call it? Wee credit card. Which company produced the first general purpose charge card? And number 6. In 1997, the Bee Gees famously walked off an interview with which chat show host? In 1987, the Bee Gees famously walked off an interview with which chat show host? Right, this could be a tricky one for you. What is the world's longest river that runs entirely within a single country? So it stays in this river, it stays in its own country, it doesn't go through another country. What's the longest river in the world that stays entirely in its own country? But one for Andre, he might get that, he likes his geography. And Jerry might get that one too. You all might get it. Number 8, the last one in this round. Who was the leader of the Soviet Union at the time of the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962? Who was leader of the Soviet Union at the time of the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962? Right, get them answers down. Okay, I'm going to give the answers. I'm going to pause that and go back. Here's the answers. How long did the Arab-Israeli War of 1967 last? 6 days, the 6-day war. And what was the name of Alice's cat in Alice's Adventures in Wonderland? Dinah. Before becoming a comedian, which profession was Harry Hill trained in? A doctor. And what was the name of the British au pair convicted of involuntary manslaughter in 1997? Louise Woodward. And which company produced the first general purpose charge card? It was Diners Club. In 1987, the Bee Gees famously walked out of an interview on whose TV chat show? Clive Anderson. And what's the world's largest river that runs entirely within a single country? It's the Yangtze in China. And who was the leader of the Soviet Union at the time of the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962? Khrushchev. Oh, damn, scores up. We're going to go on to round two. I think we'll keep the connection one to last. Right, which horse won the Derby? This is a wee gimme for the ladies. Which horse won the Derby in 1981 and was kidnapped? Which horse won the Derby in 1981 and was kidnapped? Number two. What brand of beer was advertised on TV with the wee slogan, "Hey Mabel"? I left the word out there. Which brand of beer was advertised on TV with the slogan, "Hey Mabel"? Bump, bump. Wee history one for you. Who said the words, "Dr. Livingstone, I presume"? Who said them words? "Dr. Livingstone, I presume"? This is a wee easy round for you. Number four. What TV show did Bomber Gascoigne host? Which TV show did Bomber Gascoigne host? He probably did something else, but he's most famous for this one. I've never seen him on anything else, but he's bound to have done something. Ooh. Here's one for you, some of you might remember. I used to watch this because it was on as a younger. Which Granada TV program for ITV ran from January 1963 to December 98? It was about news stories on revealing corruption, investigative journalism, and almost half the population in the UK watched this, with 23 million. Okay, so which Granada TV programme for ITV ran from January 63 to December 98? That was about news stories on revealing corruption, investigative journalism, and almost half the population in the UK watched this, with 23 million viewers. Number six, wee sports one. Which snooker player, now he's got a few nicknames, which snooker player has the nickname Rumford Slim? Okay, which snooker player has the nickname Rumford Slim? Now he has a few other nicknames, but I'm only telling you this one. Number seven. What's added to a coffee? What's added to a coffee to make it a latte? What is added to a coffee to make it a latte? Always writing these down. And number eight. What connects all them answers? Okay, what's a connection? Okay, so what's a connection? If you've only got about five there, you'll try and work it out. Right. Pens, papers down, or else rewind it. Go over some of them. I'm going to give you the answers. Which horse won the Derby in 1981 and was kidnapped? Shergar. Which brand of beer was mentioned on TV with the words, "Hey Mabel"? Black Label. Who said the words, "Dr. Livingstone, I presume"? David Stanley. And what show did Bomber Gascoigne host? University Challenge. And number six, what snooker player had the nickname Rumford Slim? Steve Davies. He also had the Nugget, the Ginger Nugget, and Interesting. He's got a lot of nicknames, but he was known as Rumford Slim too. What's added to a coffee to make it a latte? Milk. And what's a connection? You've got Shergar. You've got Black Label, which is made by Carlings. You've got David Stanley. University Challenge. Steve Davis. And you've got milk. So they're all cups. The Shergar Cup, it's a competition running in Ascot in early August between different countries and trying to see who gets the trophy, which country wins. There's Europe versus the rest of the world, and then you've got somebody else. It's America or something. So it's Shergar we're looking for there. And Black Label was made by Carning. Carning's Black Label. Then we're looking for Stanley. And they're looking for Challenge, University Challenge. Then we're looking for Davis. And we're looking for Milk. They're all cups. The Stanley Cup, the Shergar Cup, the Stanley Cup, the Milk Cup, the Carling Cup, the World Cup, World in Action that was, and the Davis Cup. So they're all cups. Round 3. What city is a starting place for the Great North Run in the UK every year? Which city is a starting point for the Great North Run every year? Here's one I didn't know till the other week I came across this. Which actress's father narrated the British version of the Magic Roundabout back in the day? So which actress's father narrated the British version of the Magic Roundabout? Famous actress, but her dad narrated the Magic Roundabout. Right, here's a commentator one. Who said this famous commentator quote? Which commentator said in a famous quote, while commentating on a match, said, "That's the greatest comeback since Lazarus." So he says during a match, "That's the greatest comeback since Lazarus." Who said them words? I think he's dead now. Not Lazarus, the interviewer, the commentator. What's the name of Tom Sawyer's love interest in Mark Twain's story? In the Mark Twain story, Huckleberry Finn. What's the name of Tom Sawyer's love interest in Mark Twain's story? Number 5. What's the fictional location in Spielberg's Jaws? Okay, where's it set? What is the fictional location in Spielberg's Jaws? And number 6. La La Land is a nickname for which US city? La La Land is a nickname for which US city? Here's a tough one. You didn't get that. I know you all knew it was made in Belfast, but that was only made there. Which port in Ireland did the Titanic call to on her maiden voyage? So it was actually going to New York and all that there. It stopped at Ireland, but what port in Ireland did it stop at? Okay, here's a wee Norby history one, wee war one. The first documented use of a submergible vessel as a weapon of war was in which conflict? The first documented use of a submersible vessel as a weapon of war was in which conflict? Well, they went under this submersible and it drove under the water, and they put a time bomb on the hull of a ship so it would explode and sink the ship. So which conflict was that in? The first use of a submersible vessel. Right, answers down for round 3. I'm going to rewind it. No, you're going to rewind it if you need to get any, and I'm going to give you the answers. What city is the starting place for the Great North Run in the UK? Newcastle. Which actress's father narrated the British version of the Magic Roundabout? It was Emma Thompson. And which commentator said in a famous quote while commenting on a match? Hope I didn't put you off. A match. It was a match, but it wasn't a football match. It was a darts match. It was Sid Waddell. And what's the name of Tom Sawyer's love interest in Mark Twain's story? It was Becky Thatcher. And the fictional location in Spielberg's Jaws was Amity Island. And number 6, La La Land is a nickname for which US city? Los Angeles. And which port in Ireland did the Titanic call into in her maiden voyage? Queenstown. And the first documented use of a submersible vessel as a weapon of war was in which conflict? It was the American Revolutionary War of 1776, where the USA's craft, the Turtle, attached a time bomb to an English ship. Have I got the name of this English ship down there? I can't read my own writing. To English ship. Yeah, I say it's getting worse. Can't make it out. Look, it looks something AC Eagle. Looks like Eagle. Right, all your scores up, and we're going to go on to round 4. What's the music round? No music round. I've not done music round. Probably like that. There's no music round. Why did I not get a music round? I don't know how I managed that. I think that's the first time I haven't got a music round in. There's me saying Gene and Davey's going to do well. Well, they'll still do well. Number 1. Which country uses the baht as its currency? BAHT. I think that's how you say it. Which country uses the baht as its currency? Number 2. What is the state capital of New York? Hope I haven't asked this before. This is ringing a bell on this one. Number 3. There are 3 countries in Africa. There's 3 countries in Africa that has 4 letters in them. There's Chad. There's Togo. And who else? Okay, there's 3 countries in Africa that has 4 letters in them. There's Chad and there's Togo. Who's the other one? What are we at? 17 minutes. So we're just about hitting the 20 mark. Number 4. Which sea does the River Danube flow into? Which sea does the River Danube flow into? I know one person's going to get this one. He likes his geography now. I probably don't know how to say this, but the Vltava, 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 I think, is the longest river entirely in which country? It runs at 267 miles. The Elbe and the Oder are bigger, but they flow into Germany, and one flows into Germany and Poland. But this river is the longest that's in its own country, at 267 miles. What's the country? The Vltava. So it also has the Elbe and the Oder. They are bigger, but they flow into, one flows into Germany and the other one flows into Germany and Poland. But this is the biggest that stays within its own country, the Vltava. So what's the country? Number 6. This is named in one of the James Bond films. What was it? Skyfall, I think. In which Scottish town is the Bonds family home? In which Scottish town is the Bonds, that's in James Bond, family home? Here's an RB Gimme for you here. Which mountain range spans between Morocco and Algeria and Tunisia? Which mountain range spans between Morocco, Algeria and Tunisia? Another wee geography one in the UK. Which canal links Birmingham and London? Which canal links Birmingham and London? I think it goes to Liverpool, some part of Liverpool too. So what's the name of the canal that links Birmingham and London? Goes through Liverpool as well. Must have been here. Oh, give you the answers. Okay, so go over them. If you want to rewind it and go back, I'm going to give you the answers. Number 1. Which country uses a baht as its currency? Thailand. And what's the state capital of New York? Albany. And there are 3 countries in Africa that have 4 letters. There's Chad, there's Togo, and it's Mali. And which sea does the river Danube flow into? The Black Sea. And the Vltava is the longest river entirely in which country at 267 miles? The Czech Republic. And which Scottish town is the Bonds family home? Glencoe. Glencoe. If any of you put the Highlands down, you give yourselves a point, but it's Glencoe. What mountain range spawns between Morocco, Algeria and Tunisia? The Atlas Mountains. And which canal links Birmingham and London, goes through Liverpool too, and passes Liverpool? It's the Grand Union Canal. Right, we're moving on to the last round. I can't believe there's no music round. I always look forward to doing a wee music round. Right, there's some wee tricky ones. And there's one of these ones that some of you will be singing along to. Well, there's there's 2 music ones in this one. Right, in 2017, the average price was around $45,000. $28,000 for a standard support claim to $86,000 for a fully custom claim. No, that $85,000. A fully custom claim will cost over £115,000. These claiming licenses for Everest are issued by the government of which country? Okay, it's £28,000 for a standard, or from around 45,000 to the average price is 45,000, so it's £28 for $1,000 for a standard support claim to 85,000 for a fully custom claim. Will cost over 115,000. These licenses you need to buy are issued by the government of which country? That's so complicated. That's too long, that question. Here's one for you. I think Josie and Bill will get this. They might. The rest of you might find it tricky. Billy Gray might get this one. Oh, Davy and Jean might get it. Who ran the cafe? And Only Fools and Horses. Who ran the cafe? And Only Fools and Horses. Jerry Smith will get this one. He's probably, Josie might get that, and Billy Gray. There's only 3 of us I think will get this. And my wee crowd here that watches this. Who made the first American flag? The Stars and Stripes. Who made it? Somebody made it. Sewed it up, and that was the first flag, American flag. Stars and Stripes. Number 4. What's the missing word from these lyrics from a song? Bill will get this. Definitely. And Billy will get it. I think Gene and Davey will get it too. The rain is Jack. The fire is Joe. But what do you call the wind? The rain is Jack. The fire is Joe. But what do you call the wind? Number 5. When England won the World Cup, who was the UK Prime Minister? When England won the World Cup, who was the UK Prime Minister? And number 6. What is vexillology the study of? Vexillology, the study of? Here's ones you're going to have to start singing here, probably. In the song, haven't heard this in about 30 years, 40 maybe. In the song, 3 wheels on my wagon, what tribe of Indians are chasing them? There's a guy and his wife's on the wagon, because you hear him, he shouts out there, shut up woman or something. In the song, 3 wheels on my wagon, what tribe of Indians are chasing them? And the last one in the quiz for this week. Viking, Dogger and 40s are what? Viking, Dogger and 40s are what? Okay. I'm going to go back on some of them, rewind it, or else pause it, because I'm going to give you the answers out here. Out there, when you needed the license for, all that money you have to pay. The government, you would pay it to the government of Nepal. Nepal. Who ran the cafe and Only Fools and Horses? Roy Cropper. No, it wasn't. Who won the cafe and Only Fools and Horses? Did you get it? It was Sid's Cafe. And who made the first American flag? Betsy Ross. Betsy Ross. And what's the missing word from these lyrics? The rain is Jack, the fire is Joe, and you call the wind Mariah. Mariah. I had to Google, I had to play it on YouTube, because I didn't know where it was Mariah or Maria. So I had to listen to it. It's Mariah. You call the wind Mariah. When England won the World Cup, who was UK Prime Minister? Harold Wilson. And vexillology is the study of flags. And in the song Three Wheels on My Wagon, which tribe of Indians are chasing him? Apache. It wasn't the Apache. Nope. You probably all got that. It was the Cherokees. Them Cherokees are after me. They like mud. They like sod, or like mud and all. Right. I like that when I was a kid, that wee song. It's the Cherokee. Viking, Dogger and 40s are what? They're shipping forecast areas. Get all them scores up. See if you can beat Stevie's 31 from last week. Billy got a 29, which is a good score, and then Josie was thereabouts with 27 or something. So full high scores last week, and even Gina was in the mid-20s. Gina and Debbie in the mid-20s as well. Jerry. So some good wee teamwork there. So I'm going to have to do one next week. I'll try and get one done next week, but see the week after. I might be a bit busy doing so. I might be busy the whole week, so it could be a 2-week wait after next week's. So I'll have to start working on this next one. Okay, enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you for the next quiz.